guys, and welcome to ManiaAirsoft. I'm your host Taz, and today I'm actually going to be doing a review on the scope cam Lite, the scope cam itself that I have here, and a replacement part that I actually have because of the actual board, an issue with the board, and some hints and tips on kind of keeping your cameras up and running and being able to record for a long amount of time, longer than actually what the batteries are actually recommended for. But so without further ado, I'll get straight into it. Okay, so essentially I've stripped the camera down as it is at the minute. So took out the tiny little screws that I have here. You're going to need it's a star bit. I got a packet of star bits and tiny little screwdrivers. Now this set cost me like €15, like nothing, but for airsoft this is amazing because there's some tiny little bits and bobs. So this little star bit is, I couldn't even tell you the size because I can't even see the markings on it. It's that small. But now I have it stripped for the simple fact it was actually a little bit more time consuming stripping it than we'll be putting it back together. I'll put it back together and we'll kind of talk a little bit more about it. So I have it stripped. Now personally, with the aluminium body, this is an absolute great camera. If I could still buy this brand new, I'd get another one of these because it is an absolute great camera. It's so robust, so strong, not waterproof, but there's a way around that. Okay, as regards to the scope cam Lite, which I have as well, though I had an issue with it, so I had to send it back to Norwich, and my new one is en route, so I don't have it to do the side-by-side comparison, but that's not an issue. Great solid. Now, the reason why or how I actually come about this, I actually got this camera off a guy. It was broken, said I'd get it because right, I should be able to fix the issue. The main issue and a bit of a design flaw with this is essentially the charging port. With the constant putting in and taking out and putting in and taking out, essentially the connection has come loose. So in order for me to be able to actually charge my camera off a power bank and play at the same time, I'd have to have it in, have an elastic band around it, have it jammed up at a really weird awkward angle. And I was like, do you know what? Went to all the camera shops and you name it to try and get this sorted. Could not get it done. Absolute nightmare. Got on to Runcam themselves, told them what the issue was. Yeah, no problem. That's €70, shipped to your house and all, and it's a case of drop it in, plug out the lead off the lens, plug it, and that's it, and you're good to go. It's like, right, fair enough. So give it a shot. So here I am. So they sent me out a little Runcam box. Here's the little part here. So essentially it is literally a brand new motherboard, the whole lot. You can see the various particular charging cables. So we'll get that on there now in a second. I actually have to strip it down because here's your earthing strip, and that will actually connect on to your body, and that goes on just inside here. You can see where there's a bit of a track here where this little piece literally kind of goes in there. So it shows you kind of where it needs to go. Now, the real fiddly bit, you'll need to zoom in on this for me. Now, you got your camera lens and this obviously data cable. So I'll just sit that down there like so. Now, this little lad just here, this essentially this little black strip, right? It has to literally be popped up. So it's like a clamp. So you just literally get your finger underneath it and it just literally pops up like at a 45-degree angle, and the cable just gently, that's it, literally just like that. So we'll leave that here. Here is the brand new guy. So my little yoki's up. Now you can obviously see the way with this, there's obviously a black piece. You can see, you know, it goes in such and such, and then underneath you got your connector pieces. So obviously the connector pieces are going to go down like so. You don't want to do that because it just ain't going to work. So, and there is literally the thinnest of gap for this to go in. So it goes in like hang on, I'll sit that down there, it'll be a little bit easier. Feed this in. So, oh, hang on, just to be sure. Yeah. So, get in there. There we go, in like so. And I'm literally going to hold that in and there we go, that's it. Hang on, just push down for sure. Yeah. There we are. You can zoom back out there now for a second. So I'll leave that down like this. Here is my earthing cable. And it's got the 3M tape on the back. So helps if you have fiddly fingers, which come off. See that? Things like this just don't want to play ball with me. They never do. If it can go wrong, believe you me, it will go wrong. Oh, come on. Oh yeah. Typical. Oh, there we go. Now, so you've got this kind of like track here. So essentially the long pieces you can see where the two ends, so here and here, fit into the channel, and this body here goes up along the side. So it goes in like so. I'm trying to kind of show you and do this at the same time. So sorry if my fingers get in the way, because yet again, it's one of these fiddly little jobs, and I just do not have the fiddliness in my fingers. It just, here we go. Bingo. So that's it. Push that down, because underneath this plastic strip, there's, as you've probably seen, there's like a little kind of like a copper wire type of thing, and that obviously gives it its connectivity with the glue and whatnot, all the rest. So now, essentially, this will, we can flip that around. And I'm gonna stand it up like so. And that goes there like that. And that's it in place. Here's the mount. And doo-doo-doo. Is the, yeah. Hang on, what is going on? Something's not sitting just right for me. It's always the way, isn't it? That's why. Because that cable is going through there, and it shouldn't be going through there. So I need it to go down there like that. Still not going in the right spot for me. Now we have it. Now we have it. See what I mean? Fiddly fingers. Sits perfect. Now, you got horizontal, as you can see there, and there's also vertical there. You want it, obviously, you see the way the cable is. You want it to go in like so, and that'll go in just there like so. Now, you got your horizontal and your vertical. Essentially, if you have it like the way it is at the minute, you'll sit that on the top of your gun, grand. If you have it mounted on the side rail, you'll obviously take this out and twist it, okay? So we have that in there like so. So what I'll do is, just to kind of hold the body together, I'll drop in one of these screws in here. one screw there, and I'll put one over the far end just so. Yeah, don't tell me that cable has got out of me. Yeah, look, it has. Typical. Okay, guys, I had to kind of pause it there for a minute because trying to get this back together and sitting flush was just a nightmare, and it actually proved a little bit kind of problematic. So, see the cable, the way it's kind of flush, you can see the arrow kind of going back in here into the main body, the housing type of thing. So it's obviously there. So that's obviously the horizontal. So obviously if you have it sitting on top of your gun, grand. If you have it at the side, essentially you'll turn it like so. So you know, obviously horizontal and whatnot and all that. So you'll know what way you're kind of recording. So we'll slide that in there. Okay, we will drop in one of these screws. Get your star bit. It's a little pinch. You don't want over tight. The threads on them are, I can't even see the fucking threads. Like I can feel them, but I can't see them. You know, they're that small. I get that in there. Now this little set here, for the few quid that I paid for it, oh man, godsend, absolute godsend. Now as I said, I got this second hand, I got it broken. You can't actually get these anymore, so if you're lucky enough to come across one, buy the hand off them, because I tell you, personally, I think the Runcam, this camera is a lot better than the Runcam Lite, for the simple fact that, like, it's aluminium. It's going to take an absolute, you know, you don't need to kind of protect it up or do anything like that. You know what I mean? It'll be able to take an absolute, you know, a good kind of like shot from a BB. Now, in saying that, though, the Runcam Lite itself is quite strong. Now, neither of these, get in there, you. Get in there. Maybe he doesn't want to go in here because there's already a nut in there. Yeah, see, look. There we go. Now, this isn't waterproof, and I actually have heard and seen one or two people going, oh yeah, it was a great camera, but it died on me. And I was like, well, how did it die? Oh, well, I got it wet. I'm like, well, you know, what you expect then? So essentially these is your barrel clamps. Again, it's the exact same screw, it's just a little bit smaller. So there's one there and one at the top. Took a little bit longer than I was kind of planning because it's a little awkward, but okay. So there we go. In, done, dusted, grand. Now, moving on. What I'm actually going to do to actually make this waterproof, you can obviously see this seam line here. You've seen the way it come off. For me personally, that is a gap where water can get in. So, right now, this lens here it's tempered glass. It's 1.5 mil thick. It is not tempered glass. It's crap. It's no good. If it does break, you can go on to Runcam, you can go on to Noverage, you can go on to Silo, and this will cost you, I did have a little price list, I can't remember where I put the bastard thing now, however. This is $9.99, probably a few quid to get it in. Now I got in two because I did have one get shot out of me, so I had to kind of obviously take this out, clean off the glue ring around it, and as you can see, the little ring there, just 3M taping it, peel it off, put it back in. give it a little bit of clean air the lens, make sure there's no fragments of glass. Go, you know, great, not a problem, can't fault it at all. Screws back in there nicely. So for me to waterproof this, I'm going to put a bit of black insulating tape around there, stop water from getting in. These buttons lead directly to the board, so if any water gets on that, it's fried, toast. 70 quid, that's what's going to happen, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get a clear piece of Perspex, like soft, kind of like a poly bag, and just cut a little segment of it, or maybe actually even a little bit of Perspex, plastic Perspex, and just literally have it going over, up and over, and maybe a little bit of a kind of a hood sticking out the back. I'll glue it in place, and then I'll end up using some of this Cryptek tape that I have, because that's what I'm going to use, and I'll cover it up. Now, as I was saying about the board, the main problem with the board is you're constantly putting in and out this cable. You're going to absolutely wreck it. It's going to come undone. Now, in order to stop this, in the link, we're going to have a cable. It's a magnetic cable. So essentially you're going to have this little obviously part here, but at the back of it there's little magnetic coupling. So essentially you'll fit it in here, and that'll stay in there permanently. Once it's in, I won't take it out. So I'll have the cable then going through the rail on my gun. I'll have a power bank underneath. So essentially the magnetic coupling at this end will clip on, bang, powers it in game. And you know, if it gets knocked off mid-game, it gets knocked off. I see it's off, grant, magnetically bang, it'll clip back on again. And that will actually prolong and save your camera and stop it from, you know, wear and tear, and you won't spend another 70 quid on whatever, it's back there somewhere in the bin, you know, because great camera. Also as well, which because of RunCam as well, they didn't actually have an ability to charge your batteries outside of the camera. You actually have to charge them in the camera. They are actually now selling the it's a double charger. The double charger is $14.99 with a charging cable, or $13 without the cable, and you'll be able to charge 2 batteries externally out of the camera, which is a great feature. And I think for what it is, it's well worth getting. So when I'm out on the ground, obviously I'm going to have 1 battery in there. Like I said, I'm going to be magnetic coupling on there with the power bank, so I can detach it and I'll leave the cable in. It'll be a great little feature, keeps it up and running. As well with the RunCam Lite, because of it being plastic, one of the main issues is this, they call it on the site, they call it a dovetail. So essentially when people are clamping this down onto the rail, the plastic thing is just snapping off, and people are going to go, oh, first game out it snapped off, or it's running and I banged it off something and it broke. You can pick up this dovetail replacement, $9.99 again on RunCam. I'm not sure if they have it on Novidge or Silo, but you can have a look, you'll see yourself. For the sake of $10, it is a design flaw with the RunCam Lite because of it being plastic, but not an issue, you know. My batteries, this is like a little transparent Kinder Egg, so this is a charged battery. So if it is this thing where you don't want to have your camera plugged in while you're playing, not a problem. I throw my battery into one of these, bit of protection, bit of waterproofing, and the way I'll do it is I'll have all my batteries, if I'm going to do that, in one of these. So crack it open, throw it in, grand, and that's it, it's used. So anything that actually isn't an egg, I'll know, right, that's fully charged. So that's kind of, it gets that out of the way. Now with the RunCam Lite, if you go onto the Novidge site, or just not the Novidge site, the Silo site, you can get a very nice 3D printed cover. The 3D printed cover essentially goes over it like so, not this one, it's for the RunCam Lite, and it fits in here lovely. Now I have the 25mm RunCam Lite camera. The lens, this is an actual for the 40mm. There's a 40mm and there's a 35mm. The 40mm one, my camera will literally stop here. Now, in order to stop my lens from being shot out, because it's way for thin, I put in a piece of perspex. Now, the way it is sitting like that, it actually acts as a nice sun shroud. So the light can't get directly in at it. Gives me a little bit more concealment and a nice little touch of being sneaky. Plus, if I do take one straight down onto it, it is about 3mm thick perspex, which I've kind of liquid poly cemented in. Does the job. Plus, has this nice little protective kind of cover on it, and obviously the water is going to run off it and run straight down, so that way it can't get in the cables, can't get at the buttons. So I'll just lift it up, turn it on, pop it down. I can still see all my lights flashing because of the way they actually have the stuff at the back. The cable will be in there, and I'll be able to see if it's in or not, you know. Now they don't have any 3D printed covers for this, but like I said, I'm not overly worried about it because I'm going to cover this with plastic, and in the case I'll be able to push the button on and off and still be able to see what I'm doing, because I'm going to essentially try to have this effect on it. So and then with the cable itself, the magnetic cable, I'm going to do the exact same with the RunCam Lite. Guys, there you are. That is what I'm going to do in order to be able to keep my cameras up and running and charging while I'm playing, so I can record for hours on end without actually having to worry about changing batteries. But if you like changing batteries and you don't mind that type of style of play, by all means, power to you. Silo, RunCam and Novrich is where you can get those replacement lenses. Your batteries, RunCam, Silo and Novrich as well. The replacement dovetail, like I said, on RunCam itself. If you're lucky enough to find one of these ones, personally I would take this over the RunCam Lite, hands down, any day. As regards excuse me, as regards RunCam support, they told me what to do, gave me a link. It was a PayPal job, send the money, and it was posted out to me, and I had it about from wherever it came from. I didn't really kind of look at the post. I was just so delighted to get it. I had it within 2 weeks after ordering. So there you go, guys. I hope you found this helpful, insightful, and I will be obviously putting up more stuff. So if you go onto my ManiaAirsoft channel, you'll see more videos there. Like and subscribe, and you'll see how I run and how I do what I got to do. Right, guys. Remember, keep it safe on the airsoft field. eyepro on, and bring the boom. See you again soon. Later, guys.